In the next few minutes, I'm going to answer the question, are life skills more important than academic skills? You're soon going to be graduating high school, but are your nagging doubts true? Are you really prepared for the real world? Will the life skills they never taught you in high school, from budgeting to relationships, hold you back from success? As a 15-year high school teacher, I'll explain what both sides of this debate get wrong and why you'll likely struggle in life if you don't listen to this advice. Let's dive in and learn the surprising truth about what truly matters for a fulfilling life, and how to master both sets of skills while you're still in high school. The first thing I'm going to say is my personal answer to this question. Both sides are wrong. Academic skills and life skills, one isn't more important than the other. You need both, and you shouldn't view this debate as a zero-sum game where if you develop academic skills, you lose life skills, and vice versa. Gaining one doesn't mean you lose out on the other. You really need to develop both. You hear so many stories about people who weren't gifted academically, but had developed good leadership or entrepreneurial skills in high school and started a thriving business. But I can also counter that with a ton of stories of the class clown who was super outgoing and friends with everybody, but did nothing academically and couldn't land any job that they wanted outside of minimum wage. Society doesn't have to pit one side of this equation against the other, because both sets of skills are essential for well-being and overall success in life. So let me give you three analogies that will hopefully make my message crystal clear. I don't have time for many examples, but I'll go with one that's my favorite: cooking, which usually falls under the umbrella of a life skill. What does this have to do with academics, you say? Well, if you've ever had a really crappy meal, you know what I'm talking about, because you need some academic skills to be an incredible chef. First of all, you need to understand the science of cooking. And yes, there is one. You also need to know about measurement, some basic mathematics skills, and the ability to read and carefully follow a recipe, or use those creativity skills you learned in English class to ultimately create recipes of your own. And not only beyond cooking, if you run a household, or when you're out of the umbrella of mommy and daddy's house, you're going to need a lot of life skills as well. Cooking teaches you how to plan. What are you going to eat next? What are you going to make? How are you going to budget for the food you're going to buy at the store? And you probably need some problem solving skills, because having cooked thousands of meals in my life, a lot of them go bad relatively quickly. This leads into my second point, that ultimately life skills and academic skills are two sides of the same coin. And what I mean by this is developing one set of skills is probably going to help you somewhere later in life. The caveat for this is you actually have to start thinking of school as beyond just a letter grade, and start looking at the skills you develop in order to achieve those grades. Let me give you a really common school example: a group project that's not going very well. Obviously, to get this group project done, you're going to need a few academic skills, possibly research, organization, presentation, communication skills, and things like that. But also, in the process of trying to earn this grade, you're learning a lot of life skills as well. For example, maybe not everybody gets along, so you're going to need to learn how to manage a team and a little bit of conflict resolution so that this presentation goes as smoothly as possible and you all earn a solid grade. You're also going to need time management and to budget resources, which ironically will help you in cooking down the road, apparently. And these are skills that are necessary for any job or team you're going to be a part of in the future. So if you're starting to see academic and life skills as two sides of the same coin, hopefully this last analogy will make total sense for you. If you found the information in this video helpful, please consider giving a subscribe down below. It would be the highlight of my teaching career. Think of the metaphor of building a house. Academic skills to me are like the foundation. And what I mean by this is most people want to get a good level of academic success, community college, post-secondary, university, whatever. And to me, in that analogy, is that's like the foundation of the house. You can't build anything on top of that without a strong foundation. And to me, then, the life skills are like the furnishings which make the house livable. It only enhances the academic skills that you already have. And to really hammer this point home, I'm going to use an example of probably the first time you've ever thought of blending life skills and academic skills together, which is the job interview after post-secondary. So the idea here is that you're obviously going to get hired based on your academic skills. Although I don't work at Google, I'm assuming they don't hire anybody that doesn't understand coding and computer science. But at the same time, they're going to hire you based on how cooperative you are, how they'd like you as part of their team, how you'll get along with people, how personable you are ultimately going to be. Because academic skills will land you the job, but probably your life skills will allow you to keep the job. Same thing if we talk about post-secondary. Listen to these verbs very carefully. Grades get you in to university or college. Skills get you through university or college. My hope is these three analogies have gotten you to stop thinking about this as an either or debate. It's not one or the other is more important. Both are necessary for you to be successful within life. Realize that even now in high school, you can build these skills if you stop thinking of them as one or the other and seeing how both can complement and how you can develop both at the same time. For example, studying by yourself and studying with your friend really leads to two drastically different outcomes. Hint, I'm hoping that studying with your friend helps you a lot more than going at it yourself. If you feel like this video has helped you realize that academic or life skills isn't actually a debate, but rather a nice cooperation, then you might want some other academic skills that can help you in English or high school. If so, click on this random YouTube video from my channel that YouTube has thought you would like. So thank you, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.